name's Ed, this is Ed's Mini Empire, and this is episode 3 of 1974 Mark III Mini Restoration. I am cracking on. I have got a nice little activity planned for the next couple of nights, which will make up this video for you. I have ordered a lot of bits for the car, a lot of rear end panels. I've decided that I'm going to start at the back, get the back solid, work my way forwards, tidy the floors, and then tackle the front end after that. So I have got on order quarter repair panels, heel board repair panels, battery box, boot floor bits, balance, all kinds of stuff. They're not quite ready yet, I haven't got them here, so I thought I would do something different. I'm not just going to sit on my hoop and wait for bits, so there's always something to be getting on with. So I'm going to crack on with the roof. Now the roof isn't too bad, it's not rusty. It's got surface rust on where it's been blasted, but it's not rotten is what I mean. The corners normally go in minis, but this one's been kept in a dry garage, so the corner's really good. But what I'm going to do is, there is a few dents over in this area here, a little one there as well. I'm going to clean up the surface. I've got a sander. I'm going to sand off all the surface so I can see any high and low spots a bit easier, to make it a little bit easier to try and pop them dents out. Once I've done that, we'll get some rusty glue on there to protect the bare metal and some etch primer as well, and that will see the roof essentially ready. And then hopefully by the time I've done that, I'll have some panels to smash onto the back bits. So let's get going. Start, I've tipped the car over a bit. Now there is still a little bit of, I don't know if it's sealer, excuse me, I don't know if that's sealer or paint or what it is in there. I think it's factory sealer from the edge, which has been missed when the shell got blasted. I'm going to pick all that out. It does come out easy. I found myself a nice edge. Once again, he says it comes out easy, and then it doesn't. There we go, once you get under it. I have got my safety glasses on because these are pinging all over. I'm just going to, there we go. Work my way all the way around the car in this roof ridge. Working out this little channel to get all the sealer out so I can get in properly to make sure there's no hidden rust holes or anything under here that need sorted out. And also I'm going to need to get right into this edge with rust treater and paint before I do anything, because there's obviously some corrosion under there. So I'm just going to go around the whole thing and pick that out before we start sanding. It's coming out quite easy. I'm just using a little hook tool there. It's coming out. It'd be really nice if you just carried on like this the whole way, but we'll see. Right then, I've been around the whole thing. It came off pretty easy actually. It only took me about 10 minutes maybe. A lot of it did come off in one big strip. The other side came off in like maybe inch bits, but once you were under it, it was just popping off all the way along. Wasn't a bother at all. So now I'm going to sand the roof skin itself. I have some more dents here, but we can tackle them next. So what I'm going to do is, I've got a DA sander with a, I think it's an 80 grit pad on. I'm going to just go over the whole thing just to take this surface rust off so I can see a bit clearer where all the high and low spots are, and if there's any nasty bits I need to see. But with it being blasted, there's no secrets, so I can see there's no filler in it. Maybe there has been, maybe that's what all these dents are. But yeah, I'm quite happy with the edge as well. There's no holes in there when I was scraping through and howking on with the hook. I didn't go through anywhere. There's just a couple of areas that just need, like on this very edge of the lip here, just want bent back into shape. But I'm really happy with the lip. So yeah, this is going to get quite noisy and quite dusty, so I'm going to put my gigs on and a mask and some ear defenders. Shouldn't take long. Let's go! So there we are, got that all cleaned off. In the end, it was taking quite a long time to clean up, so I did swap to this big wire wheel that goes in the angle grinder, and that sped the job up lovely. But it was essentially the same process. I tracked it with the wire wheel, and then I gave it a good blast over with the DA. If you get it in the right light, you still can see a little bit of a brown tinge of the rust. A lot of that is just dust that's sitting on there, and it is obviously going to be embedded into the metalwork, so you'll never get it completely clean. But that's not really a bother, because the rust treatment will sort that out. So looking across the panel, I knew we had some dents. There's a few going on here. The DA has really highlighted them because it's cleaned up the high spots much more than the low spots. Got a bit of a situation going on here. A few here, a few there. A bit wrong there, and a little bit there. But the thing to notice with these is they're all outward dents. These are all high spots. There's not very many low spots really. The roof's in pretty straight, pretty good condition. I don't really know how we've got these high spots, unless there's been a dent and somebody's pushed them from the other side. But they don't really look like hammer marks. I can't work it out. But it doesn't really matter, because we'll get it sorted. Just wanted to show you how nice them gutters have come up. How clean is it in there? But we've got a bit more dust in there. And there's a bit of surface pitting. And there's a couple of very small little bits that I'm going to repair, but I'll show you how to do them, don't worry about them. But it's very, very clean. I'm really happy with the condition of the roof overall. So let's get some tools sorted and try and fix these dents so we don't have to fill it full of filler. So I'm just going to try and get some of the dust off. Tickle these dents out with a hammer and dolly. This is just a nice basic tool set. Hold on. That is right where I see what's happened. Not sure what's happened there. But right here on this one, there's a piece of, I'll show you in. Sound deadening. Right where that dent is. You see it there. I wonder if somebody's tried to scrape that off and dented the roof trying to do it. Not really sure about the other ones because there's no sound deadening in the other ones. Whatever, this is what it is. So I'm just going to lay that in. A good tip for doing body work is, I'm right-handed. Good tip for doing body work is get your other hand, so in my case my left hand, and rub it across, and you'll find that your left hand is much more sensitive to the little dips and bumps and high spots in your right hand. You can still feel it, obviously, this is quite exaggerated, but like if you're doing filler work, always use your other hand, your non-dominant hand, and you'll find you'll feel smoothness a lot better. A bit like if you decide to do a left foot brake in your car, you'll find that you nearly put yourself through the windscreen. It's because that foot isn't used to that sensitivity. Same with your hand. You'll find your non-dominant hand, my left hand, isn't used to that sensitivity, so you can feel it a bit better. Let's carry on. Feels better. Still a little bit of a high spot there. Now to try and give us a bit more of a visual of how flat this is, I've just got like one of these sanding blocks and some 80 grit paper, and I'm just going to go over that area there that I've done. And we can see where the high spots still are. So we've got a bit of a low spot here, got some high spots, so let's carry on working them. And we're getting there slowly. Now we need to go back the other way, so I'm just going to keep working that. I'll do some of the other ones and we'll see how it looks after a little while. Okie dokie then. So, got the roof looking a lot better. You can't really see because that light's terrible. There's a few very, very small still imperfections still in that, but it's looking much better. Got that side better as well. I'm happy that the body shop could make that perfect now. There's no big horrible dips or anything. So moving on to repairing these lips. Oh, I'm stuck. So this is the driver's side rear of this gutter. We've just got a little dip there where a bit of corrosion has set in. Now this can be quite difficult to repair because you can't get behind here to clean any weld up. I could just weld this from the top, that would be fine, but I'm going to struggle to get behind to clean that weld off, so you'll end up with a big blob behind, which isn't very nice. But I learned a nice little trick for this, and what we're going to need is some brake pipe. This is copper brake pipe, nothing special. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shape the end a little bit. Right, I've shaped this end of this bit of brake pipe there, just a bit roughly with a hammer, just so that can fit in there pretty flush. Now what'll happen is I can build this weld up to the level I want it, and the weld won't stick to the copper, so that'll act as like a barrier, like a stop. So while I'm welding, all I'll have to do is dress this front side. I'll not have to dress the rear side too much. Let me show you. Right, it doesn't look too pretty, obviously that's very raw, but I can clean that end up. But if I get you in here, you can see there's very little protrusion through this side, so I will be able to get like a file or something just to take that edge off and dress this side. But I haven't ended up with a big blob on the other side of this, so it'll make it a much neater repair. Well guys, took a lot of welding and grinding and welding and grinding and welding and grinding a little bit at a time. We've got it there, it's looking like a decent profile now. Got another one to do on the front corner, so I'll get that done and then we're going to put some rust treatment on this roof skin. Okay then, so that is the gutters sorted. That one didn't take quite as long. I'm sorry you didn't see it, I forgot to switch the camera on. Like absolute novice. I'll give you a quick... Not too shabby. Right, so it's getting late now. It is 11:30 at night. But I want to get this bit done because, well, it's already late now, so who cares? Get you a good angle. Right, so we are going to rust treat this roof, so I'm just going to give it a brush off. Get any bits off. What do I need? I need a little pot. I have a little pot. Right, so got myself a little pot. It's actually a spray can lid. And if you watched my channel before, you'll know I like to use Furtan. Not sponsored, but I wish they were. If anybody from Furtan's watching, hit me up. Got a lot to do. We're going to give it a good shake. Right. Crack it open. In this lid. I always end up with too much. I've got a brush I always use for this. Now you want to be wearing gloves because it's not very nice stuff. And I'm just going to... that brush is knackered. Good brush. I might soften up. Softens up, alright. Right, I'm just going to absolutely lather everything in it. Don't be shy, get it in, get it on. I'm not too bothered about doing outside of the gutter, I'm concentrating on inside the gutter and this roof skin. I'm getting right into that with it. Nice layer of ooh, don't get it on my belly. Rustita. Flip it right side up so we don't get any horrible runs everywhere. It's going to run a bit, but it doesn't really matter. Like I say, I'm not bothered about this underside or this front side of the gutter because I'll prep them separately. I'll do like this front edge as one piece, I'll do the side as one piece. I'm kind of breaking the job up into manageable chunks, or you'll just lose yourself. If I could have carried on and done that, but then I could have carried on and done this, and I could have carried on and done all the inside, but you need to draw the line and do it in sizable chunks. Make sure that what you're doing is manageable, set yourself a target for what you want to achieve, in a sensible time frame. That's what I do. So I've come in here tonight. I knew I wanted to get them gutters repaired, and I wanted to get that roof prepped just there. So tomorrow I'll come in and we'll probably put, if that's dry, all being well, it should be, we'll get some red oxide primer on there. I think that's a lot of problem people have with big restorations, is they try to do everything all the time. So I'm not worried about this inner wing. I'm not worried about that door at the minute. I'm concentrating on the roof. And when the roof is done, I'm going to move on to the next piece and concentrate on that until that's completed, and then just keep moving on. Don't worry about it all in one go. I know this front end is a bit rough. I know that door needs a bit of work on the bottom. I know the floors aren't welded, but I'm not thinking of them. I'm thinking about the roof. So, yeah, I think we've done all right tonight. I will let that dry overnight. I'm going to mop that bit of mess up off the floor. Let that dry overnight. Come back in tomorrow. We'll carry this video on. And yeah, I'll see you in a bit. It is tomorrow, and this is dry now. I've just given it a nice little wipe over with some cloth. Managed to get it all over my hands. Just to get any residue off, so if there's any bits that are still a bit wet, especially in them gutter areas, which I made sure to paint in quite thick. I've just wiped that clean. It's turned out really well. I quite like the look of the black roof. Maybe a black roof is something to look into for when we are thinking about paint. Put a roast in there. Right, so we need to get a little bit of protection on here now. So I am opting for some red oxide primer. I've had it soaking in this jug of hot water. I find that if you heat this up, it comes out a lot easier. It makes it a lot more easier flowing when it comes out the nozzle. Make sure you give it a good shake. Put it back in there for a little bit. I've also got my little heater on here, trying to warm the place up just so it sticks to that metal a bit better. Right, so I'm going to get masked up, and I've got this little doofer. This fits onto the spray can and turns this kind of motion into this kind of motion, which is a bit more natural, I find. It's not very good for getting in tight areas, but for what we're doing here, it should work quite well. They're only cheap then if you want to get yourself one. Right, I'm going to get the mask on, get the paint shook up and the little spray gun thing on, and let's hit some red oxide. Alright guys, there we go. I've got 2 coats on there. I'll let you in for a bit closer look. Don't know how well that's showing up on camera, but I've got decent coverage now with 2 coats. Obviously with this just being primer, I'm not 100% worried about surface finish and things like that, because obviously the body shop is going to do all the priming, any filler work needed, sanding back, getting the surface 100% before we do any paint work. I'm not going to be doing the paint work. I don't have enough confidence in myself for that, especially not on this kind of scale. This is really just to protect that metalwork, because it is blasted, so there's no protection on there at all. That is just to, the rust heater was to convert any rust that's in there back to solid metal, and the red oxide primer will bite into the metal, so it'll give a good base for anything that we put on top of it to stick. That's the idea. So yeah, I'm happy with how that's gone. We've got one job left to do, but I'll have to wait until tomorrow before this is dry properly. Is we need to put some sealer on. I like Tiger Seal. Some people don't like Tiger Seal. It is adhesive sealant. You want to make sure that you're getting a sealant and not like a bathroom silicone or anything like that. You don't want to be using any of that rubbish. And the key to any of these, it doesn't really matter what brand you use whatever you like, but it has to be, can be over painted. Some of these you'll find that don't have that. When you paint over them, the paint doesn't stick. But yes, we will have to do this in that gutter where I scraped out at the start of the video. That is because obviously we took sealer out of there, so we need to replace that sealer. I will be doing this on all of the joints that need it, especially around the floor, battery box, things like that, to keep water out and stop rust getting in between panels and causing corrosion where you can't see it after the car's built. So we will be doing that. Obviously we're going to make it nice and neat. But yeah, that's just because where the roof skin meets the next panel, there is actually a lip, and if you don't put sealer in there and the car gets wet, there's a chance that rain could get in, water could get in every time you wash the car or whatever, which could lead to leaks inside the car, but more worryingly could lead to hidden corrosion that you don't find till years later, and then you end up in this situation all over again. So yes, that is the next plan. I'm going to flip this back right way up, but I'm really happy with how the roof's done. It's nice. It's a big piece of the car ticked off the jobs list, albeit it didn't really need that much work in comparison to some other bits. But yeah, I'm happy. Some progress. It's big, it's in your face. I can see that I've done something, which is good for morale, good for confidence, and we can keep pushing on. Hopefully next week I'll get some more bits. So I'm going to stop rambling now, let this dry. I'm going to smash on with the sealer, and yeah, we'll be about there. Yeah guys, a nice bead of sealer all in that lip where the panel join is. Took absolutely ages. Been on it well over an hour. Just trying to get it neat and not... Oh, I've got sealer on my face, look. Oh dear. Oh dear me. Trying to keep it neat and I've ended up with it on my face. But yeah, it took us well over an hour there. Just trying to get it in so it's a constant bead, so there's no breaks in it or anywhere for moisture to get in, but also keeping it neat so that it doesn't look horrific. I'll let that set and then I'll go over it with the primer again, just so it's all nice and uniform and all sealed in, and that doesn't taste very nice. And I did end up with it on my finger as well. I did have gloves on, but clearly I split it. But that's another job done, so I'm going to call that roof done, apart from chucking a little bit extra paint on there. But for the sake of this video, we'll say that's done. I'm going to give you a sneak peek of what I'm up to next in a box over there. Cardboard box. But yeah, so thanks for watching guys, if you made it this far. So in this box is what I'm going to be up to next. got boot floor repair, we've got arch section, back panel, we've got, move that. We've got rear bins, we've got a heel board repair, we've got back panel repair, we've got all sorts of stuff. Ooh. Which means that I've got all the bits now to start and finish everything on the rear. Which means then once that's done, I can finish the floors, tidy them up. So I've got everything with me now that I need to get fully welded and solid all the way up to in front of the front doors. So yeah, got plenty to be doing. So I hope you'll join me for that in future episodes. There we go, guys. That's the end of the video. Nice one there. It was something to get on with while I was waiting for them panels to turn up. That's a big section of the car completed there, which is good. It's good for morale, you know. Keep the work flowing, keep progress flowing. Makes you feel good about it. My name's Ed. This is Ed's Mini Empire. Please do subscribe to the channel. Subscribe, because I've noticed we've got some decent views going on. There's a lot of people joined me in the last few weeks since I started this new project. And the last couple of videos have got decent views, but I noticed the views are exceeding the amount of subscribers that I've got here by some margin, which means that at least half of the people watching these videos aren't subscribed. So if you want to keep seeing me, you want to keep getting constant updates, notifications on your phone or whatever, every time I post a video it'll give you a little ping. Hit the subscribe button. But yeah, any comments and likes on the video is greatly appreciated. My name's Ed. This is Ed's Mini Empire. I'll catch you next time.